Most people wait until the 1st of January to make some big changes. But if you really want to level up, the time to start is right now. Why wait for the New Year's when you could already be ahead of the game? By the time the New Year's comes around, I want you to look in the mirror and barely recognize yourself staring back. Imagine walking into 2025 already transformed. While everyone else is making resolutions, you're already reaping the rewards. Start now so that you won't fall back into the trap of feeling depressed and hopeless when it's dark and cold outside. So stop blaming the weather and seasons for your misfortunes. Today I'm going to share 5 powerful tips that will not only level you up, but make you unstoppable before the new year even begins. I split this video into 5 parts, so listen closely to set yourself for success. But before we dive in, hello, I am Marta, and on this channel we talk about the art of emotional regulation, meditation, mental discipline, self-love, and self-observation. All that is essential for full self-acceptance and for navigating our emotional lives with greater ease, enabling us to live to our fullest potential. I dive deeper into these topics in my weekly videos, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for even more tips on emotional regulation and self-love. I also write a blog for women where I share some free resources like the PDF 30 Days to Emotion Control and Breakup Recovery Helper. Also, this channel is full of free material like meditation, so feel free to explore. You can find links to all of these in the description to this video. And now let's get back to this video. So many of us wait until the start of the year as if it's some kind of significant time in the year where we have more energy and we wait to implement these New Year's resolutions, but psychologically and biologically it makes no sense to start at this time of the year at all. The transition from old year to the new year is a man-made phenomena, some kind of celebration. It's not the time of high energy in nature or in us, because of course we are part of nature as well and we follow the cycles of nature. Why choose this time to start with? It's cold, it's dark, energy levels are low, and we are literally striving to survive until things get better in the springtime. It's time for restoration and rest and not optimal time to start anything. And I'm not talking here about being productive, but about implementing some deep changes that will make you want to improve your life and keep these good habits, not from self-hate, but from self-love, letting go of self-sabotaging behaviors and just basking in this self-love and self-acceptance once and for all. No self-shaming, no self-condemnation. So the best time to start some new changes and some new projects is actually the spring equinox, nature's New Year's, when everything starts to bloom and energy level starts to grow. But that's only the next best time, because the best time is actually right now, when you feel the motivation that can get you going, and then you apply the self-discipline to maintain it. So if you commit to this today, imagine how much stronger you feel in just a few months. And by doing it now, you will prepare yourself for the cold and dark months, and your new mindset will prevent you from getting this winter blues or depression ever again. For me, the biggest motivation has always been to start changing before it gets dark and cold outside, and because I didn't want to feel like I am not in control, and I didn't want to blame the weather for my misfortunes or seasons for my misfortunes. I want to be fully in control of what happens to me, because I decide with my willpower, my discipline, and the self-concept I hold, which settles for nothing less than what I deserve. And of course, in autumn and winter, we need to slow down a little bit, restore. We cannot be on our 100% all year round. That's granted, okay? But still, we cannot just give up this control because of the season changing. Motivation, it's a spark. But discipline, that's the engine that keeps you going consistently day after day. Because sparks fade, but engines keep running. If you're waiting for this magical burst of inspiration, then stop, because it's never a constant. And you need something that will keep you going constantly. Instead, just make showing up for yourself non-negotiable. Show up for yourself day after day, creating these small changes that compound into big changes over time. This is the power of consistency. Develop your self-discipline and conviction. You can do it, and nobody will be able to stop you. You just need to decide it right now, that this is your time and you're charging forward like a tank. When it comes to mindset, there is one crucial thing. You must believe you can change and start acting like the person that you want to become right now. Do you want to be more confident? Then speak like a person that already is. Want to be fit? Then train like you already are. Your actions rewrite your reality, and just keep reminding yourself of this. One thing to remember is that when it comes to growth and positive change, we don't beat ourselves up here. Consistency and self-compassion are key to making these changes last. However, sometimes we slip, and if you feel too tired to do anything productive, then that's okay as well, because sometimes the most productive thing we can do is to rest. So practice radical acceptance, embrace all the emotions that you feel that arise, and acknowledge them and the situation as is, without judgment and without trying to change the experience. Then also stay tuned for the next video that is going to be about radical acceptance. So forgive yourself for moments of laziness, because these are needed too. Acceptance is your ticket to actually wanting to change. First, accept, then make positive changes. It can also work the other way around, because our actions can change our emotions as well. If any negative thoughts appear, then that's okay. It shows you're progressing, because your ego can see the changes and will fight back. It can see that you have this knife and you can cut yourself loose with it now, and it won't give up without a fight. It's something known as ego backlash. So don't listen to it. It is not your friend. And when you feel these overwhelming emotions arising, process them in a healthy way, as I instructed in the video. You are not too emotional. It will be linked here in the description below. And you will see that these emotions arising for you to deal with them actually help you to get more aware and expand what you know about yourself a little bit better. When you're starting new habits, just remember these couple of rules. First, begin with small, achievable goals. When you set realistic and manageable targets, you're more likely to succeed. This will release dopamine, the reward hormone, encouraging you to seek that feeling again and again. Use your past experiences to understand what really worked for you and what didn't, and approach any failed attempts differently, or just focus on something else. You don't want to discourage yourself from the get-go. Start today by journaling your intentions for the next 30 days. Challenge yourself. What will you achieve before the New Year's and beyond? Be specific and don't try to refine yourself. Your desires are not too big. Just don't limit yourself here. Use your inner voice as a feedback for your current situation. If you don't feel like doing something you know will bring you closer to your goals, then who is this person speaking? It's likely the ego, scared of change. Or it could be a temporary lack of focus as well, or just need for a little bit of self-love. Because when you love yourself, you don't take actions against yourself, like procrastination that stems from stress or harmful habits. The remedy is always self-love. So come back to the feeling of love and ask yourself, what can I do to make myself feel better right now? And then just do it, and ask yourself that consistently. Use an existing habit or some daily trigger as an anchor for your new habit that you want to introduce. For instance, if you want to start flossing, right? A natural thing would be to anchor it with brushing your teeth. Or if you want to read more, you can anchor it with, for example, when you eat breakfast, then you also read at the same time. Rely on your discipline. Sometimes we just need a little bit of a push. Don't lean on motivation, because it's fleeting and influenced by external factors. Are you genuinely tired and need rest? Or is it your ego trying to keep you in your comfort zone? Learn to discern this and show up consistently, because as if your life depends on it, because in a way it does, the life of the future you. It's easier to say, I'll clean for 20 minutes instead of saying, I will clean the entire bathroom, because it might seem too overwhelming. If you set a small, manageable task, you're more likely to continue beyond those 20 minutes anyway. Take these micro steps towards your goal, or use the Pomodoro technique and timers to do the work that has to be done. So set that timer and watch your momentum build. Reward yourself for hitting milestones. Some small treat or relaxing activity, or something that will just bring you joy. because this is why you're here, to please yourself, to have good experience. While we work on our future and delay gratification, we still just live in the present moment. So reward yourself now and use this positive reinforcement to keep going on building your future. It's natural to face setbacks when trying to establish a new habit. If you slip up, don't be too hard on yourself. Reflect on what caused the setback and how you can overcome similar challenges in the future. So let's start with these habits that will bring you closer to the person that you want to be and will make every other habit that you're going to build easier to stick with. I'm starting with emotional regulation because you can't really make any positive changes without managing your emotions, thoughts, and feelings. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are signals. Instead of running from them, start listening. If you're feeling anxious or stressed, it's your body telling you something's off. Use those emotions as fuel to refocus on your goal. The moment you accept your feelings without judgment, you regain control. No matter what you feel, think, or intuit, it's never a threat to you in any way. There are no negative emotions. Even anxiety tells you something that is actually good, that you're out of alignment maybe, or you've lost sight of the end goal, focus, or just trust in your life. It is your cue to return to what really matters, your aim. You can use your anger to fuel the changes or use this energy to do some kind of self-love rampage, because anger is just that, energy. Your desires guide you forward and help you expand your life and understand of who you really are and how this world works. So next time you feel something negative, sit with it and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? What's the message here? Why do I feel this way? It's easier to let go once you acknowledge it, and while it might take around 20 minutes at the time, every time they come up, suppressing the emotions can lead them to lingering for months or even years. And if they keep coming back, but you just don't feed them with fear and attention, they will eventually run out. You'll learn that without these emotions arising, you wouldn't be aware of certain aspects of yourself. Maybe you need to make some changes or communicate things to others to improve your life. And when you do this, you'll feel more love for yourself. And with love comes self-acceptance. And with self-acceptance comes self-forgiveness, which is a byproduct of healing and proof that your inner work is paying off. No shame, no condemnation, just love, acceptance, and growth. Start living more authentically. What does it actually mean to live more authentically? It means not giving your energy and power away to others just because someone else expected something from you. Do what feels good for you. Be honest with yourself. What do you really want to achieve in life and learn? Don't waste your precious time on things that won't bring you closer to your goal unless it's something you genuinely enjoy or something that will just give you a quick win or make you feel better, some sort of entertainment. You know what works best for you, so I'll just leave this decision to you. But if you focus on others too much and disregard your own feelings, you gradually lose the self-trust. Your relationship with yourself is like any other relationship. It's based on trust, communication, respect, authenticity, and love. So put yourself first, because where we place our energy is what grows in our lives. And when we start to choose and love ourselves, we start to attract everything that does the same. Begin by accepting yourself and your situation. Look for positives in life. What are you grateful for in your life? Try to see something good around you and in your life as it is. Dwelling on negativity creates resistance, and what resists persists. So love and accept yourself first, and then the changes will follow, not the other way around. Because otherwise, you just end up relying on external changes to finally love yourself, which never works because there is always something to change, something that needs fixing before you allow yourself to love yourself and accept yourself. It's a never-ending cycle, just like with happiness. It's only elusive because we keep chasing it instead of trying to have it here in the now. But there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. I'm a huge advocate of personal development and growth and learning. So let's start with your morning routine. This is the time when your brain is the most receptive to learning new things, is the least resistant, is also full of energy. Use this time for yourself and not for your employer or anyone else. Wake up before the morning chaos starts and everyone in the house is up, and dedicate this time to learning, reading, building your dream life, your business, any other project, or simply just meditating, setting the peaceful tone of the day, and just sitting with yourself. This is the time for you, for your emotional regulation, so use it wisely without apologizing. Love yourself enough to do this. And spend some time journaling as well sometimes, affirming some positive thoughts, visualizing your dream life, and working on your mindset. Your brain is the most absorbing right after you wake up. I have also videos on the morning and evening routine, so please explore them. They will be in the description below. Go to bed earlier to wake up earlier and use this time for yourself because you set the tone for the day. If you want to level up and get ahead, you need to go to this hermit mode for a little while. And when I say going ahead, I don't mean that we compete with everybody else. It's just that you can do it in the time that is the most kind of optimal instead of doing this when everybody else is doing it. We make the changes for ourselves always. Also lead the more private life, because when you talk too early about the things that you are unsure of, you risk sabotaging yourself by letting others people's doubts and limitations seep into your world. Keep certain things to just yourself and only reveal them once you're successful. Don't fall into this trap of external validation when we share things and expect some kind of validation from others, and we want them to think that we are ambitious and so cool. Give yourself this validation instead of relying on what other people say. And in case this evil eye is real, just try to protect your peace and your energy by living a bit more private life. I also have a video on this topic, so check the link below as well. In your hermit mode, focus on yourself unapologetically. Energy flows where attention goes, right? So go within and listen to your intuition to understand what is that you truly want and what should be the next steps that I should take. All the answers are already within you. You just have to create some space to actually listen to it. So start meditating, even if it's just 5 minutes a day at first, and increase it gradually. Meditation is a skill you develop like any other skill. So just be patient with yourself and remember that meditation is just about being aware. It's about your awareness, not emptying your mind and discarding all the thoughts. In fact, the presence of thoughts is actually helpful as it allows you to be more aware of them, and that's the point of resting in your awareness, which is your true nature. There is only one reason why you might fail at something or just not attract what you want, and it's because of the concept of self. Your belief about what you deserve or who you are create the self-imposed limitations. We don't attract what we want, we attract what we already are, and we also project our self-perceived value and worth to the world. These are the decisions you made based on your experiences. Your limiting beliefs are the decisions that were made based on your past experiences. And if you've been overly criticized, you may have developed a mechanism of self-exhibition, choosing not to try in order to avoid mistakes again. But remember that these are just decisions, and you can decide to change them right now. Make a decision that this is your time to succeed. Change your negative self-talk into a positive one. Never criticize yourself. Be your own best friend and the biggest supporter. Transform your inner critic into the inner avid cheerleader. Regularly just journal about who you want to be in 6 months. How does this person behave? How does it feel to be her? What does her day look like? Who is by her side? Write down what you want to be perceived as and how you want to feel. And then next time, when you are facing some decision or situation, ask yourself, what would this new version of me do in this situation? And then just act accordingly. Most of our problems stem from a poor self-concept, so decide that you're that person and just be consistent with it. Romanticize the little tasks that you have to do in order to get closer to your goal. Get a scented candle, enjoy your favorite tea or coffee, and turn these mundane tasks into rituals. The choice is yours, and I'm telling you, you're ready for this. Invest the time in yourself, your health, the sleep schedule and sleep hygiene, but also in self-care. Establish some daily and weekly routines for your hair, for your skin. The biggest change is actually this. If you regulate your emotions, I guarantee you that your skin will also improve. The vast majority of our skin problems stem from emotional health and lifestyle choices, not the wrong cosmetics. Stress hormones disrupt your body's balance, leading to poor skin, among other things. When you start letting go of what you don't control and focus on what you can, you look and feel much better. And this is the primary reason for me to create these videos, because it truly works and influences every single part of your life. And as you learn to regulate your emotions and love yourself, you will start making healthier choices. Better hydration, less alcohol, more sleep and better quality of sleep, and the time for self-care, good nutrition, and moving your body. So don't tie your self-love to these external changes, like having a bigger lips or shinier hair, or insert your insecurity. The glow up is no longer a precondition for self-love. It's actually its consequence. And it's just a delightful cherry on top, the glow up that we experience when we start loving ourselves and investing our energy in ourselves. And if you don't think that you have time for self-care, then just schedule it like anything else in your agenda. Create space for this maintenance block every week, for example, and then put on a hair mask and do your nails and the everything shower and whatnot. Love yourself enough to do this, and just know your worth, that you deserve your own time. The best habits we see in all these videos about being highly productive and so on, that are mostly targeted on men and this masculine world we live in, they are great, but they don't really address the underlying issues that we face with self-hate and self-shaming that prevent us from keeping the good changes. And these mostly work for men, not for women. Lasting change only happens when you change your self-concept and start loving yourself. Self-love is what sustains your motivation to improve. Your future starts right now. Why wait for January if you can start living your best life today? Don't base your success on how much you can achieve. If you feel like slacking, observe yourself and ask, what's stopping me? Is it fear or just temporary lack of focus and self-love? Share in comments what you find the most challenging when implementing new changes, and I'll respond to every comment. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this helps you. And these are the videos that YouTube thinks you should watch next. And remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.